Hey everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we're cooking with Mom again. Alright, what are we doing today?
Okay, we're going to make pigs in the blanket. It's Gil's grandparents' recipe on the Bohemian side. It's not what everybody thinks pigs in the blanket is. Usually it's sausage in a pancake or something.
Right, that's what I was thinking of, was all those little things in the croissants we used to get at the donut shop.
Right. Well, this is made with onion, bacon, and cube steak, or stew meat, I should say, and a beef bouillon, salt and pepper, and you cook it up and it makes a brown gravy, like almost like a stew, and you serve it over spaghetti, egg noodles, or mashed potatoes, whichever you like.
It's a comfort food. I remember having this all the time as a kid. It was awesome. So this is going to be a fun memory because I've not made this as an adult, so I'm looking forward to it.
So I have the bacon out here. I'm going to cut this up in little pieces, and we're going to cook this up first so we get that bacon fat.
Is that about a half pound?
Yes. And, you know, you can put 12 ounces in, you can put a pound in there, half a pound. It really doesn't change the taste of it much. But I like to crisp it up before I add it in. I don't want...
Well, I remember watching Emeril Lagasse, and he always said pork fat rules, so got to give it good flavor.
Okay, we're almost there. Okay, so here's our pot. We're going to brown this up.
All right, we're now going to cut up one onion for this as well. Do we cut it small?
Yes.
I watched you before, Mom. I remember how you did it now.
Gil's nickname is Chef a la Poo Poo, so... That's from him just mixing up everything together and making a dish. Sometimes it's a win, sometimes it's not so winning.
It taught me a lot. Why is that so hard right there?
Oh, I guess you didn't eat enough for breakfast this morning.
I'm getting weak in my old age.
Trying to be like the chef.
Yeah, not with that knife. Well, not with any knife for me, actually. We're just simmering up our bacon here until it gets just a little bit crispy and fully cooked. So while the bacon's browning up, we're going to go ahead and prep the stew meat.
I like to cut it a little bit smaller, not minute, but just a little bit smaller so you don't have these big chunks in your mouth.
So maybe 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch cubes or so. I agree, like you want this to be a single bite size, right?
Right. And having the meat spread out on your plate instead of 3 pieces of meat, you might get 10.
Instead of medallions.
Yes, right.
I always tell Deb, I said, I'm going to go to the store Saturday morning. If you want anything, I'll go get it. I kind of enjoy just walking around the store. Yeah. Drink my cup of coffee while I'm wandering around.
Gil and I worked together at one time, and our boss used to say, if you want to learn food, go in the grocery store, especially the produce department, and just look at all the different vegetables and fruits and learn from it.
Is that Norman?
Yes.
Yeah. There's a Hawaiian guy who used to call the ladies the wahinis, which I guess is woman in Hawaiian.
Yeah. But we were all Hawaiians, or
Wahini, right? Wahini. I like how you cover it with a paper towel. That's to keep the flies off?
Yes,
all
just
right.
Dust, dirt, whatever might be coming in. We want to save the bacon grease for the onions and then later the beef.
It smells amazing though.
We're doing this all wrong. We need a slotted spoon or something that we can...
This is the fun of cooking at the grill. You got to figure out how to use what you got, or how not to walk into the house.
I'm afraid I'm going to be splashing this all over the place. Okay, I'm going to put the onion right in this.
Are we just browning the onion?
We're just browning them up, and so they're translucent. We just want to soften it up because it is going to cook in the gravy for a couple hours, so it's going to soften up. But
onions sauteed in bacon fat. This is going to be delicious tasting.
okay, now we're going to take the onion out. It's softened up enough. And look we have a slotted spoon, so it's going to be a lot easier getting this out.
Cheater.
Cheater. Gil likes to do it the hard way. I'm looking for what we can use that works.
Listen, the spatula worked. It's not well, but it worked.
It was making me crazy, so it didn't work.
A trip not so far, Mom.
Whoa! You heard it here. Okay, now we're just going to put the beef in a little at a time, and Gil can salt and pepper as I put it in here. We'll just put maybe half in and then do another half. We just want to brown this.
Salt comes out much faster than the pepper.
Yes. And you can even use a little paprika in this. I always thought paprika just browns the stuff, but now that I'm aging, I learned that it does have a flavor. And what do they always say? Brown is flavor, so don't discard any of this brown on the bottom of the pot. That's what we're going to scrape when we fill it with water.
Are you just trying to get the meat browned on the outside
Yes.
for flavor? That's it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because we're going to simmer it a couple hours at least. That's the part I enjoy. Keep going back and tasting a piece of the meat. Okay, go back and taste another piece of meat.
So you have a quarter pound of the meat gone by the time you serve it?
exactly.
All right, that's looking like it's browning up, huh?
Yes, I think we're going to go for the other half of the meat now.
And we're just going to repeat this with the rest of the beef, right?
Yep. Yep. And we did turn the heat up a little bit to brown the meat because I felt it wasn't. Okay, Gil, salt and pepper, man.
Yes, ma'am.
Over here. Yeah, right here. Hey, do me a favor. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more like it, subscribe to the channel and click on that little bell notification so you get notified of new videos. Thanks.
All right, while that beef continues to brown, I got to tell you, it has been so fun doing this. Like, my mom flew out all the way to do this. We were going to cook together. It's been so neat doing recipes from the whole, Recipes with Love from Mom book that she gave me a couple of years ago. And like, we sat in the house this morning just looking through recipes of things that would like bring back childhood memories and look at the things we used to have growing up all the time. It was really, this has been pretty damn cool. Pretty damn cool. But I think I need to go get her because that's just about browned up. We need to finish up this pigs in a blanket. All right, we're just going to add some water in here so we can start getting some of that fond off the bottom of the pan. Not going to do too much. We'll let that heat up real good. Ooh, the color already looks good.
Yeah. Oh, he got this brown really good. Well, I ran in the house to sit in the air conditioner for a minute.
Welcome to Florida, Mama. But here's the thing. When you put on a winter coat, I might have to wear long pants.
I lived in Minnesota for a little while, and Gil came to help me move back in December during a snowstorm. And he took the coat off when we got the truck completely packed. Took the coat off and said, I am never coming back to this place again. I think it's one of his favorite places to go on his business trips because you do not have to go outside. They have tunnels from the hotels to the shopping.
We call it the habit trails. It reminds us of those like, the hamster trails.
Uh-huh.
All right, we're just scraping all that fond off the bottom and go on.
Okay, and we're just adding everything in this.
All that goodness right in there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give up on that, leaving that little piece.
Nope.
So we just cover this now with water?
Yes. Make sure you cover it.
Tell me when.
Keep going. It's gonna simmer out, so all of it. Go ahead.
It's about 4 cups.
Okay, about 4 cups. But like I said, this is gonna simmer for a couple, 2 to 3 hours until the meat is tender. So
1 beef bouillon cube, is that typically what you do?
yeah, 1 or 2 of them. But since we got so much out of this pan.
All right, that's kind of equivalent to about 2 bouillon cubes. If you've never used that, this Better Than Bouillon is phenomenal instead of a cube.
Well, sometimes they don't cover it, just halfway. Okay, we've had the pigs in the blanket simmering for 2 to 3 hours. Now we're ready to thicken it up, and that's our next step.
Just flour, and we use chicken stock, but you can use water.
Right, make a slurry to thicken it.
In this case, don't use cornstarch. It'll get a little too thick and gloopy. I don't know if that's true or not.
Not if you don't use too much.
So I've got to share this with you. This has been so fun editing these videos. Moms will humble you. As I see this, right, she said, oh, well, not if you don't use too much. But then to see the look on her face, I'm going to play it again. The look on her face, you can just read it. She's like, that ain't true at all, son.
In this case, don't use cornstarch.
Look at the face.
Okay, here we go. We're going to pour a little bit at a time in there. Just pour it in slowly. And remember, you want to simmer this out so it doesn't taste like flour. But you want the gravy to adhere to the egg noodles or the pasta of any kind or potatoes that you put it over. Okay, I'm adding a little bit more. I think we need to thicken it just a little bit more.
It was probably maybe 3-4 tablespoons of flour.
Okay, now it's just perfect. And keep stirring it because this is when it will stick to the bottom if the heat is too high.
And if you're cooking out on your grill, there's a good chance it is. Like ours doesn't seem to go low enough to get a really low simmer, so we're having to pay close attention to it here.
It's a strange meal to some people, but I married into this family, and this is one of the meals that Gil's grandparents made.
We're doing it on egg noodles today. What do you typically do it on?
I do it on spaghetti, or I'm an Irish girl, so I like it on potatoes, mashed potatoes also. That's good.
That's how you make your Bohemian Irish meal?
Yes, Bohemian Irish meal.
Right.
So you just take this, get some of that gravy on there, and there it is.
Ready to give it a try?
We're going to give it a try. Bohemian Pigs in the Blanket.
I gotta get a little bit of onion and bacon and meat on here.
I'm gonna
These are
get
big
it
old
first.
noodles.
Yes.
Right?
I got a bigger mouthful.
That is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Reminds me of like your home cooked meals.
It is.
That's true. But I haven't made it myself. This is great.
And the funny thing is, when I'm eating it, I'll try to eat all the pasta or the potatoes first, and I leave all the meat down in the dish and then just chow down on meat at the end.
It'd be good to sop up with bread or a biscuit too. All right, I'm gonna take your hint and try that right now.
That's
so tender.
That's exactly what I do, is sop it up, the gravy and meat with bread. Looks like we're gonna eat this whole plate.
Yep. Well, I hope you guys give this a try. Get a little Bohemian influence in you.
It's delicious.
Safe and happy grilling, y'all. Need to use smaller noodles. These can get the sides of my face. Oh, good. You're still here. Hey, check out this one right here. This is all of our PitBoss Pellet Series smoking videos. And down here, all of the Blackstone ones. Hope you enjoy them.